electrical world. So that last experiment was to prove that this is a satisfactory conductor to transport the signal voltage inside of most circuits. And there won't be a high enough draw on these circuits to ever be able to need more amperage through that circuit than what that can provide. So what does that mean? It means people are replacing harnesses a lot, and they ought to maybe take a minute to kind of understand that when they say 10,000 ohms of resistance equals an open harness, that's because as far as signal voltage goes, it's enough to operate that circuit as far as the sensor goes, not the actuator, not the powers and grounds going into your main ECM. But that load pro is great for the powers and grounds because I can check every ground and every power and verify that I can do my job of getting the right amount of 12 volts ignition and ground to my ECM. Now make sure, like I said, every one. Don't overlook any, because those will be the ones that bite you. So the other thing, we don't want to use a load pro though on this unless we go to the procedure I described in that class about how to essentially bench test a harness on the truck. So lights are not loads. Test lights don't equal loads because they're subjective. This plugs into my multimeter, this Load Pro 1000 or whatever it is, the Bee's Knees 2000. It plugs into my multimeter, and then when I apply the load, it tells me whether or not that 25 ohms of resistance can be sustained by the available conductors and circuit integrity. So how bright is not a good gauge. So a load gauge or a load cage, I've seen a lot of cool ideas with headlamps or huge draws on systems. I don't think that's an adequate way of doing it. I think you need to load that system or apply the voltage to the load and see whether or not back probing the live circuit voltage applied to the circuit, applied circuit voltage, back probing that circuit as it's being energized to see whether or not that voltage going to whatever major component can be sustained when the component's unplugged. Open circuit voltage isn't the same. So load pros are great for seeing whether or not you get that voltage drop. Information lights are not always false. Sometimes you'll get a high